Hey, what's up guys, Ripley here. Welcome to the new Pro Tactics Ops series. In this video we're going to be talking about Castle. He's subject to a lot of controversy on whether or not he's underpowered. Opinions seem to differ between casual players and competitive players. Stick with me and I'll get into why these opinions are different, how to use Castle properly, and what role he should serve on your team. So let's get into it. Welcome to Pro Tactics. Miles Campbell, aka Castle, is a 2-speed, 2-armor operator. He's a part of the American FBI CTU. Being a 2-2 operator, he's well-rounded when it comes to flexible roles. This means he's great for new players as he doesn't swing to either extreme of being fast and squishy or slow and tanky. His alias promotes his gadget abilities, which are these UTP-1 Universal Tactical Panels. These are a special type of barricade as opposed to the standard wooden barricades all defensive operators are equipped with. They can be attached to windows or doors to provide ample cover and costly time for attackers. As for aesthetics, he's got a number of headgears ranging from tactical camo, expansion themed headgear, and some fun options like the clown, blood dragon, Spartan, and skull masks. He doesn't currently have any outfits, but I expect these to be coming in the near future. Let's get into his loadout. Castle is equipped with a UMP-45 submachine gun and an M1014 semi-automatic shotgun for primaries. For secondaries, he's got a 5.7 USG handgun and an M45, or more commonly known M1911 handgun. For his gadgets, he gets the option for a ballistic deployable shield or T-13 impact grenades. Digging in a little deeper, the UMP-45 has a damage rating of 38 and 32 when it's suppressed. The rate of fire is 600, which is a little on the slower end. The mobility is 50 and the mag capacity is 25. The damage starts to fall off at 15 meters, so if you're within 15 meters, you're getting the full damage rating. This gun has excellent recoil and is easily controllable. As for the attachments on the UMP-45, for sights we have the option for the red dot sight, the holographic sight, and a reflex sight. I like to use the holo sight because it's a lot easier to get headshots with for me. Moving on to barrels, we have the option for the suppressor, the flash hider, an extended barrel, a muzzle brake, and a compensator. I prefer using the muzzle brake. As for grips, we have the option for the vertical grip or an angled grip. I personally like to use the vertical grip just to ensure I have control over recoil, but either one of these works fine. As for the underbarrel attachment, we have the standard laser sight. I generally don't use these because I don't like to give away my position and I don't hip fire much. As for aesthetics, there's a wealth of weapon skins that UB keeps adding. Lots of these are pretty nice looking. The same goes for the many charms that they have added. There's lots to choose from. The other primary option is the M1014 shotgun. It has a damage rating of 32 and is a semi-automatic, so it can fire very quickly. The mobility is 50 and it has a capacity of 8 rounds. The damage fall-off starts at 5 meters approximately. Moving on to the attachments. For sights, we have the option for the red dot sight, the holographic sight, and the reflex sight. I generally use the holographic sight still. As for the underbarrel attachment, you have the standard laser sight, which can be useful on a shotgun. And then of course the aesthetic items. As for secondaries, starting off we have the 5.7 USG. The damage is 27 and it's a semi-automatic handgun. The mobility is 50 and the capacity is 20, and the damage fall-off starts at 18 meters. This is a really good gun for putting a lot of rounds in the air really quickly, but at the cost of a lower damage rating. So for attachments for the 5.7, starting with barrels, we have the option for a suppressor and a muzzle brake. I generally use the muzzle brake because it's very effective. Moving on to the underbarrel, we have the option for the standard laser sight. The other option is the M45 MUSOC handgun. MUSOC stands for Marine Expeditionary Unit Special Operations Capable. It's got a whopping 47 damage and it's semi-automatically fired. The mobility is 50 and the capacity is 7. That's the trade-off for the high damage. The damage begins to fall off at 15 meters. For attachments, we have the same options as the 5.7. For barrel, we have the suppressor and the muzzle brake. I generally use the muzzle brake. For the underbarrel, we have the standard laser sight. For his utility gadgets, Castle has the option between the deployable shield and impact grenades. I recommend using whatever best will suit your team or yourself if you're playing solo. So, as you can see, Castle's loadout is very versatile and balanced. Generally, what I run is the UMP, the M45, and whatever utility gadget my team needs at the time. The shotgun's very viable as well if you want to hold corners. Alright, let's get some feet on the ground here, and I'll show you some tactics you can use with Castle and how he should be played in game. So Castle's main gadget is 3 tactical panels that replace the standard wooden barricades. They're bulletproof for most operators outside of glass and take 12 melee hits, a breaching charge, or a grenade to completely destroy. Castle is mostly used to protect an angle or a flank, or to waste time of the attackers, the time wasting being his most useful function. With a 3-minute timer, the more time you can waste as a defender, the better. This will also make the attackers more frantic to get into the site as the clock runs out. Also, if they don't bring an operator with any gadget ability to break the panels, they're forced to melee the panels, which takes a large amount of time. I'll show you here exactly how long it takes to destroy them with melee hits. Approximately about a full 12 seconds. And if you place barbed wire behind the castle panel, that's going to delay them even further. Just make sure you put it back far enough so that if they do throw a grenade to destroy the panel, it won't destroy the barbed wire and you won't be out 2 gadgets. Now, Castle can be used offensively, and I'll show you a couple tactics here on how that works. If you melee the castle barricade 11 times, that means there's only going to be 1 more hit for it to be completely destroyed. This can be used for a really good surprise tactic. If you sit and wait closely to the barricade and listen for enemy operators, you can smash open the last hit on the barricade and break it open, then swing out and start shooting. This can be a big surprise to the attackers. Another way you can do this tactic is bring impact grenades. What you can do is throw an impact grenade at the barricade and it'll instantly destroy it. Then you can run out and start firing. This is a lot quicker than the melee method, and can be really good for a surprise flank. You want to make sure you use your barricades wisely and in positions that will benefit your team, not hurt them. For instance, these windows work great on Canal because most people like to shoot into CCTV from the red roof across the gap. This means that the attackers can't shoot through them and they have to physically breach the barricades. If they don't have an ash, a glass, or a grenade, they might try for a sledge or melee to destroy them. This can give you a good opportunity to run out of garage below and catch them off guard. As for using the panels wisely, what I mean is you want to use them in places that are advantageous for you and your team. You don't want to just put them in a doorway or window outside that the attackers can destroy for free right off the bat with no flanks or time spending occurring. Occasionally you may have to do this, but the point is to use them where they can be utilized to the fullest potential and be in the most detrimental places for the attackers. Just remember these panels can also be detrimental to your team. If you place them in doorways that are close to the site and you have roaming teammates, this will have the same effect for them as it does for the attackers. You want to make sure that your team is on the same page and you're not blocking your team out of the site. Another way that you can use Castle is to open up walls and then barricade off certain doors or windows to create a unique angle that someone might not expect. It's this kind of outside of the box thinking that'll get you kills. For the last tactic I'll show you, this is somewhat of an offensive-defensive technique. The castle panels don't go all the way to the floor, so this can be very beneficial for you to shoot enemies' feet underneath them as they try to open the panel. This can be dangerous if they use an explosive, but if they decide to go for melees, then they're going to have a hard time. This spot in Clubhouse works really well because of the small set of stairs that allow you to see the ground at eye level. Make sure you keep this in your castle handbook, it works really well with a shotgun. I think that's it for this video, guys. Castle can be an extremely strong operator choice, especially if you have a team. He brings great utility and has a good loadout. I recommend playing with him to find out for yourself. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you learned something useful. As always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next video.